Okay, so as I go through the question, John goes to a football game at Suncorp Stadium, drinks a number of beers, 6 over the period of time. He slips and falls on the way home. He's falling on polished wooden stairs where someone has spilt their drink, and he spends 3 days in hospital, missing a month of work, and ends up with medical bills. Right. Now we have to think about, does he have a case of negligence against Suncorp Stadium? So let's have a think about it, and the first place I would start here is with the 3 questions. Okay, and I would write that down. There are 3 questions that have to be answered around negligence. 1, is there a duty of care? 2, was that duty breached? And 3, were there any damages? So now I want to expand that. This is the start of my answer, so I might just make my answer in italics. What that shows to me as the teacher is that you clearly understand that element of things. This is the first level, and this is kind of C-level stuff. If you can explain those 3 things, you're online for a C, right? So let's go. Is there a duty of care? How many people thought that a stadium owed to their customers who are coming to pay money to watch a sporting event a duty of care? Hands up quickly. I agree. Okay. A duty of care is owed by Suncorp to its customers who are paying to watch a sporting event. Now, I want to try and bring in some of that second level stuff, not just is there a duty of care? What are some of the things that suggest there needs to be a duty of care? And one of those is proximity. Right. Proximity is an issue here, and Suncorp are aware that customers will be using their facilities. So there you go, that's the first thing. Now, the question is, was there a breach of the duty of care? So let's go back to that. The question is, on polished equate to we have to think about what issues might be at play here. And you could argue this both ways. But I'm going to use one of the second line things, and that is around foreseeability. So foreseeability means predictable. Okay? So it is predictable at a large So it's predictable a large sporting event that someone might spill their drink and make the area dangerous. Now, is there anything else as well as predictable? Well, some of you brought this idea of precautions. It is relatively simple to have the precaution of signs available to alert customers of spills. So we've said that it's predictable there'll be things spilt. We could have taken precautions, and we might finish by saying we also see a slippery wooden floor could lead to someone slipping. In summary, we think there's a breach of a duty of care there. You could have argued the other way, but I'm going to argue this way. You're not wrong if you did the other way, if you had some facts that supported you. So, care by leaving slippery steps wet. Okay, now, the third question is damages. Right, damages is actually the easiest thing. Are there damages here? Okay, yeah. There are, including the medical costs and time in hospital. Okay, we've gone through this and we've got some ideas. However, I think there's still an issue that we haven't talked about that many of you have. And that's one of the defences. Right? So there are some things that can get people off negligence that we looked at. And one of the defences, which if you want to use great language, is a partial defence, is that of contributory negligence. Right. So contributory negligence is a partial defence to negligence where the person has contributed their own injury. Okay. In this case, drinking at least 6 beers would have to fall on the stairs. So now you might say, what does that mean for the guy looking the case? Well, it might mean that Suncorp Stadium will try use this to reduce the amount of damages. And we probably don't know that. We might just be better to put that as a statement of opinion. Suncorp Stadium might or are likely, something of that, because we don't exactly know what they're going to do. Suncorp Stadium might try to use this to reduce the amount of damages paid. So that's an answer. That's a good answer. We've gone through the 3 questions. We've used some of the second level thing we've got. So we've used issues of proximity and how easy it will be to take precautions. And we've also added in contributory negligence. So if I saw that in an exam, I'd be happy to give that an A, provided your spelling is better than mine and you spell injury correctly. Now, you can spell a couple of words wrong, obviously you don't want to, but that would be an A-level response.